Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Why I'm worried about Fire Country Season 3's death risks undoing one original character's hard progress. Bode's struggles about firefighting were front and center in Fire Country Season 3, Episode 13, but another character suffered a major blow with the surprising death at the episode's end, which risks undoing all their development. Fire Country Season 3 has been particularly challenging for Edgewater's firefighters. Between Bode becoming one and dealing with a difficult training and even more difficult first days on the job, and Gabriella having to regain her hard-earned reputation as a firefighter after running away on a call in Fire Country Season 3, Episode 8, they both had to handle serious challenges on the job. Bode and Gabriella's paths were riddled with obstacles, but theirs weren't the only challenging developments in Fire Country Season 3. Chief among all, the Leons and especially Vince had to grapple with his father Walter's mortality after his diagnosis, but Eve struggled with making up with her family and Francine too, along with Manny landing again in 3 Rock and having to find a purpose after his life handed him a challenge he thought he had already overcome. Birch dying at the end of Fire Country Season 3, Episode 13 risks the latter's development especially, given Manny and Birch's history. Manny seriously fought for Birch's sobriety, and this was as true in Fire Country Season 3, Episode 10 as in Season 3, Episode 13. While Manny might have been angered by Birch's choice to drink Pruno on the job, after Eve had discovered the contraband alcohol, Manny refused to implicate Birch, instead standing by his belief Birch should have owned up to his mistake. As Birch and Manny's fellow inmate firefighters got angry at Birch, as they would all get written up if he didn't confess, Manny's speech inspired Birch to own up to his mistake and get sober too. Manny's impact on Birch was undeniable even if Birch didn't like Manny. Indeed, while Birch listened to Manny, he didn't trust him, and he was worried that getting treated in the prison infirmary would have endangered his sobriety. Manny didn't insist on Birch going to the infirmary earlier because he wanted to preserve his sobriety, but Birch's death could have been prevented had he received medical assistance earlier, making Manny feel guilty for Birch's death. Birch dying will inevitably impact both Eve and Manny, but Manny's hand in pushing for treating Birch's illness at the camp can hurt Manny more. Manny's path in Fire Country Season 3 was less than straightforward. While he was happy to return to 3 Rock instead of going to prison for punching Luke Leone in front of the governor, Manny serving his sentence at 3 Rock still meant he repeated his past mistakes, which got him imprisoned again. Not having a purpose at 3 Rock led Manny to commiserate himself, which was made even worse by his not talking with Gabriella for most of Fire Country Season 3. Manny returned to his original role in Fire Country Season 3 when he took on more of a leadership position within 3 Rock, becoming first saw and inspiring the inmates to be upstanding, rejoicing in the opportunity 3 Rock gave all of them. Manny inspired Cole to let go of his anger and Birch to do the right thing, making Birch's death feel like a stain on him as a leader, as Manny probably believes he should have protected Birch. Not being a leader anymore can only hurt Manny and make his time at 3 Rock worse in Fire Country. Ever since Fire Country first premiered, it has been a show filled with high-stakes action, emotional character arcs, and heart-pounding rescues. Season after season, we've watched Bode Donovan and his fellow firefighters at 3 Rock navigate not only the literal flames of Northern California, but also the personal infernos that threaten to consume them. With the announcement of Fire Country Season 3, fans are gearing up for another thrilling ride, but there's one major concern looming on the horizon: the possibility of a character's death undoing hard-earned progress, particularly for one of the show's original cast members. If there's one thing Fire Country has excelled at, it's creating deeply flawed yet compelling characters who strive for redemption. Bode himself is the epitome of this theme. A man desperately trying to atone for his past mistakes while working his way through the inmate firefighter program. But he's not the only one who has faced an uphill battle for growth. One of the most inspiring arcs has been that of Gabriella Perez, the firefighter-paramedic who has gradually carved out her own place in Edgewater's firehouse and in the hearts of viewers. The possibility that Fire Country Season 3 might take all of her progress and throw it into jeopardy with a fatal twist is deeply troubling. Gabriella's journey. From aspiring athlete to firefighter, Gabriella entered the fire country landscape with a different set of dreams. When we first met her, she was on track for an Olympic career in swimming, a path encouraged by her father, Manny, who envisioned a bright future for her outside of the dangerous world of firefighting. But as the show unfolded, we saw her make the difficult decision to walk away from that life and fully commit to a career as a firefighter paramedic. It was a powerful transformation, one that allowed her to step out of her father's shadow and forge her own identity. Her journey was anything but easy. She struggled with the weight of expectation, with proving herself in a male-dominated profession, and with finding the balance between her personal life and her passion for saving lives. Despite the challenges, Gabriella flourished, and by the time Season 2 wrapped up, she had solidified her place among the team. It's this development that makes the idea of a potential death or tragic setback in Season 3 all the more worrisome. Killing off Gabriella, or placing her in a situation that erases her hard-earned progress, would feel like a betrayal of everything she has worked for. The show's history of high-stakes deaths. Fire Country has never shied away from the reality that firefighting is a dangerous profession. Over the course of 2 seasons, we've seen multiple characters face life-threatening situations, and some haven't made it out alive, from inmate firefighters making the ultimate sacrifice to unexpected tragedies within the main firehouse crew. The show has repeatedly driven home the harsh truth: no one is truly safe. Season 3 is shaping up to be another emotionally charged chapter, and rumors are already swirling about a major character death. With Gabriella having become such an integral part of the narrative, she is unfortunately high on the list of characters who could be at risk. Given how much effort has been put into developing her, it would be a devastating loss, not just for fans but for the overall story. The impact of Gabriella's potential death. If Gabriella were to be killed off in Season 3, it would have far-reaching consequences for multiple characters. Bode, who has already suffered immense personal loss, would be shattered. Their relationship has been a roller coaster of emotions, filled with moments of deep connection and painful separation. Losing Gabriella would be another crushing blow to his emotional stability, potentially sending him down a dark path that undermines his own growth. Manny, Gabriella's father, would also be deeply affected. His protective nature has always been a defining trait, and losing his daughter in the very profession he once warned her against would be a cruel twist of fate. It could push him away from firefighting altogether or lead him to make reckless decisions out of grief. Beyond individual character arcs, Gabriella's death would also send a disheartening message about female characters in action-heavy dramas. Too often, women in these shows are written out in ways that primarily serve male characters' storylines, rather than allowing them to have full, complete journeys of their own. Given how much Gabriella has already sacrificed to prove herself, taking her away now would feel like a disservice to everything she has built. How Fire Country Season 3 can avoid this pitfall. There are ways for Fire Country to maintain its signature tension without resorting to a shocking death that erases character development. If the show wants to put Gabriella in a dangerous situation, it should do so in a way that challenges her resilience and showcases her skills, rather than simply removing her from the equation. A close call, a serious injury, or a moment where she has to overcome overwhelming odds could provide the high-stakes drama the series thrives on without undoing her progress. Alternatively, the writers could shift focus onto another character for the season's most intense storyline. There are plenty of other Firehouse members whose arcs could be explored in greater depth, and shifting the emotional weight to someone else could allow Gabriella to continue growing organically. Conclusion: don't undo what's been built. Fire Country Season 3 has the opportunity to continue building on what has made the show such a success: compelling character development, intense firefighting action, and heartfelt personal stories. But if it chooses to sacrifice Gabriella for the sake of a shocking moment, it risks undoing one of the most meaningful character arcs in the series. Rather than taking the easy route of a dramatic, tragic death, the show should lean into the strength of its storytelling and find ways to push Gabriella forward. She has fought too hard to establish herself as a firefighter and carve out a future on her own terms. It would be a shame to see all of that progress go up in flames just for the sake of one gut-wrenching twist.